Taliban ban women's beauty salons in Afghanistan.
Here's a summary of the article.
Islamabad, the Taliban are banning women's beauty salons in Afghanistan, a government spokesman said Tuesday. It's the latest curb on the rights and freedoms of Afghan women and girls, following edicts barring them from education, public spaces and most forms of employment. Its release comes days after Akhundzada claimed that his government has taken the necessary steps for the betterment of women's lives in Afghanistan. The United Nations on Tuesday also said it was engaged with the authorities in Afghanistan to get the ban on beauty salons reversed. This new restriction on women's rights will impact negatively on the economy and contradicts stated support for women entrepreneurship, it said. Between 8 to 12 women visit her Kabul salon every day, she said. They have barred women from public spaces, like parks and gyms, and cracked down on media freedoms.
This post received a score of 11,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
What is even their end goal? Just men?
To keep women in their place. Women can't join together and rebel against the men if they can't gather.
This is it. Salons are the only place women can exchange news without being overheard by men or mullahs, especially since they closed the public baths.
Famous story from the Afghanistan invasion. Coalition forces found a village where the only source of water was a stream several hundred meters and down a steep slope from the village. The women would have to schlep water back to the village multiple times a day, and they had to haul their laundry back and forth as well. In come some coalition engineers and they install a well in the middle of town to make their lives easier. A few weeks later and the pump is mysteriously broken.
I heard that story probably a decade ago with a village in Africa, but with the difference that when they came back they found the village in complete chaos. Turned out, the daily 10 kilometers walk to the water source was the time when the women would plan the rest of the day or something like that. Just saying, the moral of the story is still valid, I guess. I heard a similar story in Sociology 101 about an African village, except the women begged the engineers to not build the well instead of sabotaging it because it gave them peace from the men.
This is sounding like a story that lazy profs make up to suit their lecture.
It's entirely possible that women in multiple regions do not like being oppressed and enjoy anything that gives them a moment away from their oppressors.
Yeah. I am betting none of the stories are totally true and serve as an example to talk to local communities about their needs and wants before trying to help.
They're worried about their economy, yet shutting down businesses. Okay.
The national GDP of nations where women are allowed to be equal contributors to the economy is usually doubled. They prevent half their population from contributing, then scratch their heads.
That's largely because the GDP calculations ignore the work women were otherwise doing. 2 women stay at home and raise their kids and do all the housework and such, zero contribution to GDP. Same 2 women become maids, nannies and go do the exact same thing except working in the other's house, paying each other for the service. Now it contributes to GDP, and the government gets to tax the exchange, despite the fact that the exact same work is being done.
But very few in a population have nannies, and maids usually work at several households. Instead, in kindergartens, one adult takes care of 5+ children. So your math would not fit many countries where women are a part of the workforce.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.